Hey, Dr. Widener here with Patient Mastery. Quick video, I'm going to share with you 5 team sabotages that happen because of the responsibility of the DC that I guarantee you can find yourself in maybe one of these, but not maybe, at least one of these, if not 3, 4, or 5. And the whole point is you're aware, you could do something about it. Tone over bone, headspace over action. That's how I make these videos for you. And I'm coming from a place of, over the last few years in Patient Mastery, going from 1 full-time team member to 8, having as many as 10 to serve as many chiropractors as we're helping, and learning by trial by fire, having to go through that process myself. Now, it doesn't matter. You may be a chiro in practice with 1 CA, like my practice, super efficiently run with 1 CA at a time, like multiple, different shifts, 1 at a time. Essentially, this works, doesn't matter if you have a big team or 1 CA, these are things that happen no matter how many people you have. You have all 8 players, every month and every quarter just keeps getting better. But the reality is, that's not usually the case, especially now with chiropractors, where we weren't born and trained to be business owners and managers of people. That's just not our thing. But the first big sabotage for you as the business owner, as the boss, is not keeping promises to team. And this shows up in 2 different ways. I'm not just talking about the big promises like, hey, it's, I told you at 90 days you're gonna get a promotion, or I told you at 1 year you're gonna get a raise, or at 2 years you're gonna get health insurance. I'm not talking about those. Those are big ones, which do count. Big ones, let's say money, but even the little ones. If you say, hey, we're gonna start the team meeting at 1 p.m. at lunch every Monday, and you're still on email, you're on the phone with someone, you're checking out YouTube, and it doesn't start till 1:07, guess what your team thinks? Timing isn't that important. And then they do it with patients. And patient walks in and they're on the phone and they're not ready for that new patient with a big smile, maybe coming out behind the front desk to shake their hand and give them a big welcome. Because you do it, they do it. Everything rolls downhill. So time is a big thing, and just all the little things. If you're saying stuff and not following it, they're not gonna respect you, not gonna trust you, they're not going to be led by you. Just give a quick analysis. Where are you saying things and not following up on it? Promise it somewhere. Why? Because you're human. Another one. 2, not knowing if they're all in. Now, what does all in mean? All in means they're not leaving you for a better paying job, even if they're paying $5, $10 an hour more. If it's less of a commute, if they get more paid time off, they're not leaving you because they are all in, because they are A players that respect you and support your vision, and your vision and mission inspires them. Now, how can you tell if they're A players or B? Because I get this all the time from docs. I can't really tell A or B. I think they are. Sometimes they're just so on fire. Sometimes they're so down in the dumps and they drive me nuts and I have to follow up. Now, if you have to think about it, they're not an A player. If they were gone tomorrow, you would hire them back tomorrow. In a second, they'd be the first one you hire back. They're an A player. If you know they deserve a raise and you're just happy they haven't asked for it yet, they're an A player. If they're constantly, weekly coming to you with ideas, exceeding your expectations, doing things you didn't even think they were supposed to do, and surprising you, that's an A player. So putting up with non-A players, huge DC sabotage. And if you don't even know that A players exist, because most CAs, I'll tell you, if your practice isn't growing, one of the biggest reasons is your team is B players and they're keeping you where you are. If you know how to get paid cash, if you know how to attract enough new patients to meet what you need to do to be or grow, if you know how to get people to follow your recommendations and you're not growing, it's because your team is an A. And that's your glass ceiling. You don't realize they're keeping you where they are. It's a big one for chiropractors. Let's go with, are you or not investing in their growth? So I'm talking about growth related to their role, related to their position. So if they love horseback riding, I'm not talking about gifting them riding lessons. I'm talking about, hopefully you're going to chiropractic seminars, not just for energy, raw fist pump, last 72 hours, and then, well, what did I actually get out of that? Tangible strategies, tangible reconnection with coaches, reconnection with colleagues that now you're going to stay in touch with, things like that. If you're not bringing your CAs, well then you go on a high, they stay where they are, and you come back and it's just a mess. You know exactly what I'm talking about. No differently, you and your spouse. If you're into growth and they're not, something doesn't feel right. So are you investing in their growth? And it doesn't mean Chiro seminars. Maybe it's communication seminars where they're connecting better with patients, whether it's straight through over the phone or in person. That's why patient mastery seminars, we have half the time the CAs are put into a different room to get expert training, and they love it. It's not like a drill sergeant. But are you investing in their growth? If you're not. And your team makes or breaks your growth ability. Are you taking care of their, nope, not their cat, their security. What does that mean? Not their detail security with armored car. As a business owner, fundamental difference between a business owner and a non-business owner employee is you are okay with taking risk. You have no guarantee of how many patients show up next week, of what your profits are going to be next month. Sure, there's trends you're doing that works, but you have no guarantee. Whereas an employee, sure, they can get fired, but essentially, no matter what's going on, they're getting that paycheck every 2 weeks. That's the major difference. And one comes with more rewards when you do it well compared to the other. However, when they sacrifice risk, when they let go of risk and extra reward, which is what we do as business owners, they need security. And there's certain things when it comes to pay or time off based on maybe it's even their family, childcare, health related stuff, they need that. And are you really checked in with, do they have the security that they need in your employment? And it's not a just, oh, that'll happen next year, or if we double, that's when the bonus kicks in and then you'll get extra money and be able to pay your rent. A lot of CAs are in stress mode, scarcity mode, because they are not making enough and just hoping the bonus will make things fly. You can't run a practice like that and expect team to be their best if they don't feel secure. So tap in, ask them what they need. Not what they want, not what would be awesome, but are they getting their needs met? And the last one, which is actually the most common, is when it comes to the tasks they're assigned, projects they're working on, all of their things, is there 100%, you see that? Yeah, clarity of your direction and leadership. Now, there's never going to be 100%, but is there better than the 50% you may be giving now? So we're talking about, you have expectations of results and outcomes. Are you delivering the same level of instruction, step by step, guidelines? Is there timing guidelines? Are you assessing? Or are you just saying, go do this and hoping it magically happens in whatever time frame you think, rather than this is the project name, this is the timeline, 90 days, but at day 30 you should be here, at day 60 you should be here, at day 90 this is the end result. This is what end result actually looks like tangibly. These are the steps I want you to take right away from the beginning as it goes. Like, are things clear? Again, often as business owners, we're just Tasmanian devil and we just go at it and we expect everyone else to do the same and get the result. That's not how it works. There's got to be a level of order and clarity and organization, and we're not engineered like that usually as chiropractors. That's why it's tough keeping and retaining great team, or then knowing if you have the right team. But think about where your team isn't delivering the results you're expecting, and see where you could take responsibility when it comes to timing, tasks, steps, order, assessing as you go through. So you're on their side, you're not just waiting with an expectation they don't think they can fulfill. 5 things to look at right here. Guarantee at least one of them, if not all 5, there's a level for upgrade with you and your single team member or team of, I don't know, one of our docs has 85 employees, in over four locations. It doesn't matter. This applies everywhere. Grow the doctor, grow the practice, have a better life. We're here for you. You need anything, you know where to find us.